Hey guys, and welcome back to this brand new video. Today I'm showing you how to create a Fiverr gig in 2024. As you can see, I'm right here on my profile. I do advise you to make an account first, obviously. Don't worry, it doesn't take that long and it's actually pretty straightforward. So this video is assuming you already have a Fiverr account. As you can see, I already have 2 gigs right here. But today I want to make a new one, so I'm going to show you basically how to make a new one, or might also be your first Fiverr gig. So I'm just going to show you and go over all of the details. So obviously here we can just click create a new gig. This will bring us to different steps here. As I said, don't worry, I'll guide you through it. The first title, the title always starts with I will. That's an obligated 2 words that you have here that will always be there. So just turn around this sentence here, the I will. So in this case, I am actually going to make a modern logo Fiverr gig. So in which I'm going to make a modern minimalist logos, if you will. So that's what I'm going to type. I'm going to do I will make a modern minimalist. There we go. For you. There we go. I'll make a modern minimalist logo for you. Now I could have done, for example, for your channel or for your YouTube channel, but that generally just takes up way too much space because it is also advised that your title is not too long and it's quite short and quite catchy. And so it doesn't feel like for people that they need to read a very long title or anything. Okay, so there we go. Then we're going to go to category. Now they always suggest categories. And the first one is actually the one that applies to me, but otherwise you just click here and you just choose from this list which goes most with what you're doing. Because you might not be making a logo gig, I do, but you might be making something else that could be applied to one of these right here. But I'm just going to go for graphic and design here, obviously. And then here it's also pretty obvious it's going to be logo design. And once again, you have other options here. You have a bit more options here that are more specific since these are subcategories. So make sure that you go through them. So for me, as I said, it's going to be logo design, pretty straightforward. And so here, because I'm making a Fiverr gig logo, so that's about logos, I'll get these options right here. And so I have to select one. Unfortunately, I can only select one. So I'll have to choose between minimalist and modern. So I do think that I prioritize minimalist a little bit over modern. So let's just select minimalist here. Then I'm going to go to logo type. I already searched this up. I would say monogram, abstract, and emblem. If you want to know what these are, you can Google them. But they basically mean that it's a pretty simple 2D logo. File format here. Now GPG I'm going to do, but also provides, you will see that later, I will also provide the PNG version of the logo in this gig. So that's also what I'm going to select. And PSD, because these will be in the extras. Once again, I'll show you that in a minute. I'll actually give the PSD, so the Photoshop file, so the source file, to the client if they ask that as an extra. Now in keywords, this is very important. You can only use 5 keywords, 5 tags, so make sure that you make them count. And every tag can unfortunately only be max 20 characters. But basically, I would advise you to have them surround what your gig is about. So first of all, I'm gonna do something obvious like modern. There you go, modern YouTube logo. You can just do this in lower cases, by the way, just because upper cases and everything is not taken into account. Now I actually show you something important here so that you can actually use that for finding your keywords. Fiverr is buying. We're gonna do, for example, we're gonna type modern logo, just this modern logo. As you can see here, we have 40,000, more than 40,000 results, which is honestly way too much and way too hard to rank into those. So what I advise is take a keyword that's a bit more niche, a keyword that's a bit more, that has less results. Not too few, but that has less results. For example, if I type here modern YouTube logo, so the one that I did, as you can see, 17,000, a bit more than 17,000. Which could be a bit less. It's still a decent amount of results, but it's already better than, for example, 80,000, 90,000 you can also often have, or whatever results it might be. Sometimes they're really high results and it's just way too hard to rank in that, especially if you're just starting out. So same here for my second tag, which is just simply going to be YouTube logo. Now YouTube logo would astonish you, is actually not that much results. As you can see, it has not that many results because people tend to do it on more social medias, like a Twitter header, you know, some Twitch header, of course, or Twitch logo and Twitter logo. You get the idea. But because YouTube is pretty specific, that's really the keyword here, is that it's a specific niche where you would rank. And as you can see, these results, and they have decent sales. Now you will see some that have 0 sales. As you can see this one right here, but that's also a pro one. So as you can see here, some people here only have, this guy has only 20. Now, as you can see, you generally have, now this says 10, but you actually have a total of 20 pages. So if you start ranking into these 20 pages, people start to see your gig and you start ranking. So the moment you are in the top 20 pages here, so as you can see the first 10 and the last 10 you can't see because you have to do the arrow. Basically, if you're in the first 20 pages, you'll start to rank, especially if people do an impression. So an impression is when they scroll over your gig, but they do probably notice it in a way. And of course, if they click on it, they click on it. As you can see, this guy has 4 orders. but still is in the first page, you know? Because probably people gave him good ratings, people came back to his gig, so do keep that in mind. So that was a little parenthesis that I wanted to give you guys, so that you actually know that it's very important how to actually tag your Fiverr gig, because that's a very crucial, very important point of creating and ranking your Fiverr gig. So I'm just gonna continue here. Profile picture, same thing really, it didn't have a lot of results. Profile picture is also pretty obscure. Even minimalist logo, just like this, only had like 17,000 results, I think, last time I checked. So that's also a good candidate. And then I'm gonna do something like basic YouTube logo. Now I also did simple YouTube logo, but they both had the same, approximately the same amount of results. Simple had a bit more results, so I went for basic, so that's actually a bit more obscure, so that I can actually rank a bit better if people would search basic YouTube logo at some point. But yeah, the fewer results, as I said, not too fewer, because sometimes you have a keyword that you have like 100 or 200 results. That's bad. Anything under 1,000 or 2,000, I would say, is getting pretty bad in terms of results, because no one is searching for it. It will be too niche, it will be too obscure of a keyword. Do keep it around 2,000 to 6,000-7,000, I would say. That's a good range in terms of results that you get from searching up the keyword. Okay, and then we're gonna just declare this one here, steal it from any third parties or use illegal use. And then we are done on the first page, so what you want to do then is do save and continue. So then here we have the pricing. Now you generally want to have free right here, packs, so free packages, and I definitely advise you to do that as well. But since mine is just one simple Fiverr gig with one simple pack, I'm just going to do the basic one here. I'm just going to keep the basic one. But I'll definitely advise you to have a standard and premium one. And you can actually call those whatever you want. Right here, you can actually give it a different title. And basically, this is going to be the basic package. So you do the minimum here. The minimum of your package will be right here. Something standard or normal you can put right here. And then the premium, of course, is something that has the most options possible in your gig that are within your reach. So people, of course, would have to pay most for premium right here. But as I said, I'm going to keep it on basic. I'm just going to call this whatever I called it the previous page. So a modern minimalist YouTube logo. Then here you can just do a small description. You have nothing crazy you have to do. It's like, and type I will make a modern minimalist YouTube logo. There you go. For your YouTube channel. Doesn't really have to be anything complicated, to be honest. Delivery time, I'm gonna do 2 days. I don't advise you to do it too long, because if you do it too long, you tend to go down in the rankings, so you will rank less. But I would personally say that I would do it in 2 days. So between 2 and 3 days is generally what people will do. So do keep that in mind. Don't do it too long either. Don't do 5 or 6 days for one logo, because you will go down in rankings, as I said. Then I have the time to get the concept right with the client and time to make the logo. So revisions. Revisions basically means how many times they can ask you to change something on the logo in this case. So I'm just going to say free here, because it's a pretty basic pack, as you can see here. So then here is everything that's included. So logo transparency, as I said, I will do that transparent version of your logo. And then the price is going to be the minimum here, which is going to be $5. That's the bare minimum. It basically goes from 10 and then 15, 20, 25. You get the idea. 5 is the minimal. And because I'm just making a minimalistic modern logo, well, the minimal price is definitely going to be 5. You don't want it to do it too expensive, to say like 10 or 15, because a lot of other people who make just like modern simplistic logos will also put them at $5. It is at the end of the day in concurrence with others. So don't make it too expensive, because you will go down in rankings as well, and you will have just other people, and other people just for $5 have way more sales than you do. So do appropriately price your gig and think what it's worth. As I said, go into the search, go compare your gig to other gigs that are already existing, and look what in terms of quality and price they offer in general, and compare yourself with them. Okay, so now the extras. So I don't do 3D, nor vector, no additional logo. Just going to remove all of this. So basically the only things I'm going to add here is fast delivery. So I can actually deliver it in a day. That's why I also advise you to do 2 days. So you can actually add the extra fast delivery for 1 day. And it doesn't have to be necessarily 1 day. If you're really fast, you can do it within a couple of hours. And you could actually say that in your description, which we'll go to into a minute as well. But of course, just say if you do 2 days like I did, just say 1 day right here. And it's just going to be an extra $5. This either doesn't have to be too high, just add them of extra 5. It's the minimum as well here, so just do 5. Now if you have bigger projects, if you have bigger gigs, have multiple packs, as I said, do price them a bit more if you want. So source file as well, so that you actually get the PSD, as we saw earlier on the page before. A PSD, so Photoshop file, which I will provide. If they charge this extra $5, once again it's the minimum, so it's $5. Just going to do that as an extra as well, so that they actually can ask for the source file if they really want it. So there you go, that's the only 2 extras we're going to do. do here. Once again, we can do save and continue. Now here we go to the description. Now I have right here a notepad where I actually prepared already before what I was going to do as a description. Just going to copy paste this, but don't worry, I'll go over it. So let's see here. So I do this for all my gigs. I say, please contact me before ordering, and actually going to highlight this. You have a little lantern here. It's really nice. You can actually highlight it like this. And I ask that, of course, because I do want to make sure, because people in the past have, for example, asked me for a 3D logo on my other gig, and I don't make 3D logos. I never really learned 3D logos. I don't have the right software for it. That's why I want to avoid those people ordering and me having to cancel those orders, because once again, I don't have the capacities to do that. So I prefer talking about the concept of the logo they want before ordering, and so we can talk about it in, as you can see, the messages right here. They will send you a message first, and then you can also say like, yes, of course you can order right now. I can do that kind of logo, or whatever else it is. Or you say, no, sorry, I really am not capable of doing that. There's no shame in that. If you really can do it, you can do it. It doesn't matter. You would lose a client, but at the same time, you won't give them a project that they might not like. You haven't or barely done it in your life, so you don't really have the experience in that. So that's why I basically say that they should contact me before ordering. I say pretty clearly right here. You can also do it on the bottom here without all caps. It's really up to you. Then here I did a little small description, just nothing crazy. I said, in this gig, I'll create a more minimalistic logo for a YouTube channel. Do make sure to let me know all details. So obviously I want them to be pretty precise what they want, so I can make their logo better. The more I know, the better I can make their logo. So then here I do I provide. Now we can actually make this into fake letters. That looks better. As you can see, it looks nice. So I say what I provide, the logo and the transparent version of the logo, so the PNG file, meaning it's a transparent image. And then the extras, same. I'm actually gonna make that bold as well. And then the extras, as we saw earlier, fast delivery and the source file and PSD, so Photoshop file. So I do, generally speaking, advise you to explain what exactly you do in the description of your Fiverr gig, just to make sure you're pretty clear about what you can do and what clients can expect. Short to average length and simple, so that people can understand it, straight to the point. So for me, that's going to be this one right here, and I'm just going to scroll down here. You can also add a FAQ, so an frequently asked questions. If you start getting clients who have questions that kind of repeats themselves, questions that you've had multiple times. So if you do, for example, can you make 3D logos? You say no, which would be my case, you know, but you can do whatever you want. And it's optional, of course, so if you really want that frequently asked questions to answer something once and for all, so people can actually see it while ordering, you can do that right here. But I'm just going to do save and continue. So here are the questions that Fiverr will ask you. They are obligated, you can't remove them. So their first question is, if you're ordering a business, what's your industry? And is this part of a bigger project you're working on? So that's the questions they will have. But then you can, of course, also add your own questions. So I'm going to add new question. Same, it's the one I have right here. It's not really a question. It's please let me know of the details, font color, and any other specifications that come to mind. Provide an example of a logo concept if needed. It's always nice if they give an example of what they want. And then, of course, I don't recreate that example. I actually make my own, but I get an idea of what they want. So I do the free text here, but you can also do multiple choice if you want people to give you, if you want to ask multiple things at the same time to them, and an attachment in case you want to add an image or something like that. I just do the free text, and I just did a little, not really a question, more of an announcement. Then I just do add. There you go. Once again, save and continue. And here in gallery, you can add an image, so thumbnail, that people will be able to see, of course, when they click on your gig, or a video. So if you do, for example, video editing, it will be nice that you have like a video trailer to show off what you're actually capable of in terms of video editing. But because I do the logo, I have one image here. Do know that the size in pixels is 1280 by 769, and that the max size is 50 MB, but it's pretty hard going over that, I would imagine. And the minimum is 712 by 430, as you can see right here. So do keep this in mind. It's important that your thumbnail has the right size. So I'm just going to browse for mine that I made. Okay, there we go. Here it is. So as you can see, I just made this, you know, to show some examples of what I would do as a simple logo design. I just put together some self-made logos here. As I said, some examples of some simple logos I will make. If, by the way, you want to make a thumbnail, but you don't have Photoshop, you can use Photopea, or you can actually use Canva, because Canva actually has a Fiverr pre-made layout that will allow you to actually give a layout. So it's already a pre-made layout, and you don't have to change some text. So and Canva is for free. I actually might do a video about that in the future, about Canva itself. But do make sure to check that out if you're a bit stuck on making the thumbnail, for example. So once that's done, you can of course add others, and here you can add the video in question, or even a PDF. And now here I also have to add text to this sample. So you click on it. You do the one that applies most to you, I would say monogram. Then you can do here more terms about your service, so basically add 3 other tags. So here if I type logo, I can for example do logo creation, or even create logo. You can type logo again, design logo, just the word logo, why not? There you go, just click continue. So then we're gonna go here. Now do make sure that you check this one here, that you declare the same as we saw on the other page, that it's created by yourself and doesn't infringe or any other third-party rights. Save and continue, of course. And then you're pretty much there. As you can see, you're almost there. And then we're gonna publish it. And there you go. As you can see, it's open for business. Here you have a link. Just click done here. And there you go, it just showed up right here next to my other gigs. And here as you can see, you have the impressions. When you just scroll like this, there's gonna become an impression. As you can see, I got the little message there. A click is obviously when someone clicks on your gig, and an order is when someone orders. And then you can also see the cancellation percentage. You can do per 30 days, 7 days. You can actually filter that here. If you want to go there, do make sure that you go to my business and do gigs. That will bring you to this page right here, as you can see. And so there you go, guys. It is right there. It just appeared with my other gigs. Now, I do want to mention something also very important. If you're just starting out on Fiverr, and if that, for example, was your first Fiverr gig, do keep in mind that it's important to have multiple Fiverr gigs, and also in different niches with different titles. So basically different services. As you can see here, I do, like for example, a banner and a logo. It could be something else for you. You can add video editing, you can add text editing. So do make sure that's a variety, basically, that you have different gigs. Because having like 3, 4, 5 gigs, because I believe the maximum is 7. If you're not a first seller yet, the maximum is about 7 gigs, I believe. So do make sure that you actually make at least, I would say, 3 or 4 gigs, at least, I would say. I really try to build that around your skills that you have, of course, so that you can actually increase, because every gig will rank in different niches. So meaning that actually you get multiple impressions and clicks of different gigs. Because the one is about banners, well, it's going to rank with banners. If the one is about logos, it's going to rank in the logos keywords. That's why you shouldn't only have 1 gig. It's always important to have at least 3 or 4, even when you're starting out. So it's just something important I wanted to mention, guys. I will actually soon make a video on how to rank on Fiverr in general, so do keep an eye on that one if you want. But in any case, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope it helped. Please leave a like, would be really nice. Subscribe, would also be really nice. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.